Good morning, sports fans from all around the globe. I am your host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and this is your breakfast bankroll for Wednesday, August 17th, 2022. Woke up this morning, my feet hit the ground. We got a shot. Another 24 hours to make a difference. And yesterday, what a hell of a day. Sitting here last night, games are going on. I'm already evaluating today's card because there's a lot of afternoon games. So that's why me and Riley are coming on today. And it was so funny. The ECSI VIPs, we gave up 4 plays, and they were all leaning in that right direction. But again, me and Riley talked about the LOBs, especially when you're playing team totals. You get the 1 run here, 1 run here, but you need the crooked numbers to kind of, So last night, we have the Twins. We had the Twins run line. So I was feeling real comfortable with the Twins run line as the games were progressing. We also had the Twins team total over 4.5, which this morning looked like we got there real easy. Well, it wasn't as easy as it looked. In the meantime, we had Cubs team total over 4.5. Run here, run here, run here. Well, I talked to you guys about getting stuck on that hook. And I used yesterday as an example where there were 32 games the night before, and I think 22 of them stayed under that 4.5 going over. It was 4 or less. So sometimes you need a little help. And the Nationals gave us little help. They were down 4-0, then 4-2, then 4-4. You get to extra innings, someone's got to score 5. And we talked about it here: steel can or aluminum can. And I said, the hell with it. Cubs first 5, Cubs full game, Cubs team total over. Well, miracles do happen, 7-5 final. And then, again, the stench of the day, and Riley, I know I said this out loud, was the Oakland A's yesterday. It just was the stench of the whole helly day. It was just like, wow. And both teams had that team total of 4.5. So I decided with the VIPs, I wasn't going to go into Oakland to win the game because I talked about the firing of the manager. Usually you get that burst, but Texas not going to give you that burst, but it stunk. But Oakland, almost like the Marlins, when do they score 5 or better? So I saw the 4.5. I ran with it again. Run early, run early, run early. Now I'm like, damn it. But hey, 3-1's better than 2-2, but 4-0 is much better. And then wouldn't you know, Elvis has left the building. 2-run shot. They get to 5. 4-0 for the VIPs. A hell of a day. Much needed, and that's the beauty of this, is the grinding, the work, trusting the process. And you're either all in or you're out. A lot of people use you like a buffet. I'll sprinkle a little here, sprinkle here, but on your plays you went 2 and 5, and on our plays, we have the good day, and vice versa. It happens that way. So you got to figure out a happy balance. Hats off to Riley. Great picture. The nachos did look awesome. And as I said, do we believe? If you had the White Sox on Monday, you had to go in and grab the price today. And I'm going to talk to you today. If you had them the first 2 days, right? You had them the first 2 days. They're really trying to get you to come. You and I both know my feelings about Kopech, but enough of me. Let's bring him in from the Windy City. He's up. He's ready. His team's on a roll. He was up hours before Tony, and Tony went to bed before him. The one and only Mr. Riley Magnuson.
My friend,
Good morning,
I'm trying
sir.
to recover my voice a little bit here. I was the place was electric last night, so I was obviously 7th and 8th inning. I was getting after it with my voice, so I'm trying to recover in that sense. But the two most exciting wins of our season, and maybe in all of Chicago sports in the last 365 days over the last 2 days for our Sox with the late inning rallies. And Yohan Moncada with 2 straight huge hits, despite what's been a rough season so far, at least at the plate. And he's been really coming around. So yeah, a lot of optimism. We'll get into today's game a little bit. But it was a great scene. It was an hour and a half back to my home, unfortunately, after the game because the train was clogged up more than I've ever seen it after a Sox game. The city was out. It was a city crowd last night at the game, so it was a blast. One of the best games that as far as comeback games that I've been to for the Sox, going to the games for 25 years. So, it was awesome. And, yeah, obviously you had some awesome winners yesterday. We had some handful of games that we broke down, and hopefully we could do the same again today. We've got a handful starting 11:30 my time, and then 12:30 your time is the first one up. So I'm ready to rock, my friend.
Shout out to Brian Gaskell, big Mets fan, great bowler, proud sponsor of ECSI on the NEBA Tour and everywhere else. We still haven't got to our Toga trip there, Mr. Gaskell, but soon, maybe someday. If not, maybe we'll tiptoe out to the Breeders' Cup this year. But he asked his question, Mad Max to the rescue tonight, and I think the Mets are in the same spot tonight as the Astros in this regard. We're looking to stop the bleeding. Anyone that plays these Mets here, you got to win against everyone else other than Max and DeGrom. I mean, listen, they are beatable, but not often. You get the clunker here and there. So we've been talking here for a while now. Yanks and Jays are floundering like fish on a jetty in the ocean. They just flounder. They're bad. They're stenching right now. Okay. Yeah. Now we talk about the Mets. 10-game lead, all the way down to 1.5. Braves come into New York, and the Mets say not so fast. They come into this series with a 5-game lead, and the Braves bats have woken up. They got the first two. I'm looking at this last night. I'm looking at this from a public and a DGen spot here, and it's almost like no pushing. Yeah. We got you covered. We're okay here. Hey, Johnny, we need to open up another Mets line over here. It's Mad Max night. And I'm not an Odorizzi fan. You know a little about Odorizzi. Right.
Neither am I.
What is your thoughts of the floundering teams? Now in comes the iron.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see as far as the Mets. I mean, they had been obviously playing decently well coming into this series, but this is a 4-game series. They've got DeGrom coming out tomorrow, and right now it's undecided for the Braves. So I think one way or another the Mets get that one done. But like you said, I think the Braves come out with some fire tonight and keep this rolling. But yeah, I mean, the Yankees, I didn't get to see, obviously I was at the White Sox game, so I didn't get to see any games live in action last night. But I mean, the frustration levels for the Yankees, I mean, they're on center stage a little more than the Blue Jays are, obviously being the Yankees. But I mean, just the boo birds coming out of Yankee Stadium. Obviously, it's not a lot of stadiums will do that after a skid like this. But yeah, they're still what is it, the second best record in the American League, and they've got a chance to, if they get things going. I mean, it is a little weird that Joey Gallo was traded, and now the Dodgers are 12-2 since the trade, and the Yankees are 2-12. I'm paraphrasing. I don't know exactly what the numbers are. I think he's got 3 homers in his last 4 days. So it's interesting, man. I think the Yankees will pull out of it. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, but I mean, the attitudes right now aren't fantastic there, and obviously the Blue Jays. I'm a little more worried about the Blue Jays. We talked about it yesterday because their pitching just isn't quite there, and I think Manoah will bounce back and be a pretty dominant over the next month and a half or so. He obviously wasn't last night, but I think he'll get back into that range. But after that, we talked about it yesterday. Their starting rotation just isn't that good. It's really not a lineup that you feel good about going into the next month and a half of the season. And if you're fortunate enough to get to the playoffs, going up against some of these rotations, if they face the Astros and Verlander and whoever else, they're going to get smoked by that rotation. Even my White Sox, I would feel solid going up against the Blue Jays if we're fortunate enough to get there with the starting rotation matchups there. So I think the Yankees will pull out of it, but I'm a little more worried about the Blue Jays as far as their playoff chances going forward right now.
Astros now a 3-game lead over the Yankees. The MLB came out with their playoff schedule, and I've been saying sarcastically that they are assuming or praying Dodgers, Astros, or something of that, because this World Series could go to like November 8th. Can you imagine a Subway Series? The start of November, and first pitch at 32 degrees with snow flurries. And I keep talking about Brian's Mets, and the fact of the matter is, imagine holding one of those wooden bats in early November facing DeGrom and Mad Max. Forget about it. Forget about it.
No, and I mean it's something that I think about it as a White Sox fan. Obviously, I'm not. Those two teams have a significantly better chance of getting there than my White Sox do right now. But you get White Sox in late October, it's the same thing as far as these rough weather, and it's you don't really think about it, but the certain makeup of certain teams have a lot of guys that just aren't used to the cold like that. I mean, my White Sox, how many Cuban players do we have? And I love Jose Abreu. I'm being like kind of tongue in cheek, but being serious. Like Jose Abreu in the first month of the season and the last month of the season is his lowest level of production throughout his career, like very consistently. The June to August months are the hottest month of his season. So some of these players don't translate as well to the cold weather. Obviously, it's it is harder to hit it. But yeah, I mean these starting rotations, when you have those cold weather teams, become that much more dangerous. So, it definitely helps the Mets case as far as the guys they've got. So, I'm with you 100% on that one.
It's really starting to, I don't want to say tighten up. I mean, we got 2 weeks left of August. We got the whole month of September. So, we're in that 6-7 week. I think the last day of the major leagues is like October 3rd. I think, don't quote me on it, but I think that's where it is. So some of these teams that are floundering, they still have time to put a little hole in, to exactly. But I'm telling you right now, how quick like the fans have turned on the Yankees. And you talked about Gallo. Sometimes a change of scenery that's all that is needed. The big stage, bright lights isn't for everyone. Right. And I asked Scotty right away, Scotty, what in holy hell were the Dodgers thinking? And his first words to me were, they weren't thinking. They says, a couple of years ago, Gallo hit 45 homers. They're not having him pinch hit to get a single. They're having him come off the bench to hit that 2-3 run homer for the walk-off. Well, he's feeling comfortable. Like you said, the Dodgers 12-2. It's not because of Joey, but Joey's got 3 homers in the last 4 days. Starting to feel comfortable. He's that lefty bat that all the other teams needed, not the Dodgers.
Yeah, I would have loved to have him. I mean, our lefty bat came through last night, actually, Gavin Sheets, fortunately. But I was, my girlfriend's not much of a baseball fan. She was with me, so I was explaining, kind of talking shit about Gavin Sheets, and then he shows up and hits a 2-run RBI game time double in the 7th inning, and then here I am with egg on my face, obviously happy about it. But I would have loved to have good Joey Gallo. I complained about the White Sox not going after a left-handed bat, even just another option, and he would have been certainly another option, and obviously it's working out for him right now. Like you said, he's not there to hit, to hit 300 or whatever you want to, 250 even. I mean, if he hits 200 and has, a handful of home runs throughout the rest of the season and some big moments, then they'll obviously be happy. So, I'm not a Yankee fan, so I'm not going to complain about what's going on right now. I'm sure you can say similar things over there, but I think we'll see them straighten out. But obviously, we talked about it. If I think I agree with you as far as this weekend being maybe a get-right series against the Blue Jays, or obviously one way or another it's going to be a get-right series. If it's not for the Yankees, maybe it'll be for the Blue Jays offense. Who knows? So definitely something to look forward to this weekend.
Full slate, a lot of day games today, tomorrow. That's why we're here right now, hoping to get everyone all set. Our eyes have been, excuse my French, amazing. We've been spot on. I talk to you about this all the time. You talked about a homer prop 2 days ago, and you didn't come back with it. Do you remember who that was?
Was it, did Castellanos have one yesterday? Is that who it was? Ah, geez, I didn't realize he hit one yesterday. My eyes weren't looking for home runs yesterday for some reason. Damn, I didn't realize he had one. Wow, I didn't realize they had 5 home runs yesterday. I guess I didn't see that.
So I was thinking of you there. So take it away, my brother.
Shoot. All right, well, let's stay right there. The Phillies and Reds are the first game up today. 11:35 my time Central. It's 12:35 for your time over there. You've got Ranger Suarez and Nick Lodolo. About -170 for the Phillies, I do believe in this one. Philly wins the first 2 of these out of this series. I think this is a 3-game series. Suarez has been pretty damn good lately, and obviously Lodolo has been pretty mediocre. Would you like to see this line a little bit higher if you're interested in the Phillies, or do you think that's a fair one right there?
Good call on the opening line. Number one, number two, the total 8.5 juiced under, which again we know in Cincinnati usually doesn't hold a lot of weight. Those are the 9s and 10s, so they're expecting both pitchers to do well. They're baiting you. They're saying, "Come on in. We'll take any Phillies, all Phillies action here." What do you have for the last 3 to 5 starts on Lodolo?
You know what? I wrote down basically I wrote down mediocre, so I didn't write it down exactly. It was last time against the Cubs, 4 2/3, 7 hits, 4 earned. Against the Brewers, 4 2/3, 4 hits, 3 earned, and then before that, pretty good against the Orioles, only 1 earned over 6 innings.
And it's like I talk about Saturdays, college football, college basketball. Everyone wakes up with the melon. They had a rough Friday, and it come football season, they turn on game day, and I just watch the numbers blow up when Curb Street there's got a side, and all the other guys got a side, and the old man puts the hat on, and everyone's running to the window. I like to just breathe. Hey, I don't need to run to that 12 o'clock game. If there's something there I like, okay, it's
Right.
okay. But you got 125 games to choose from. Now, we only got, I think, 6 or 7 this afternoon. I'm just going to sit and watch. I expect the Phillies to keep on rolling. They're supposed to. I wouldn't be surprised here if Lodolo pitches better. I'd like to say the first 1 to 5 wins today, but they're saying this. Listen, it's 8.5 juiced under 25 cents right now at Westgate. They're like, come on. So they got this 4 to 3 game written all over this.
Okay. No, I'm with you. Yeah, I'll be staying away from it, but it's definitely solid insights on that one for sure. Next one up, Cubs and Nats. Let's see, we've got Drew Smiley and Abbott for the Nats. I believe they've split the series so far to this point. Smiley 0 earned run over his last 2 starts, and Abbott has not been very good. Obviously, you liked the Cubs yesterday. Are you interested in them again today, or are you taking your money and running?
I am taking my money and running.
I love it. No, I'm 100% with you. That's Cubs team is kind of one of those teams where if you catch a game in one of the series like you did yesterday, it's time to move on. Because I would not be shocked if Smiley regresses in this one, but definitely don't have enough faith in the Nats. So I'll move on from that one pretty quick here. Kansas City and Minnesota is the next one. Daniel Lynch and Mali. Twins take the first 2 out of this series. This is Mali's 3rd start with the Twins. 0 earned run in his last start. Lynch has kind of seesawed a little bit. 0 earned run, 4 earned runs, 0 earned run his last 3. Are you expecting the Twins to take the sweep here, and maybe Lynch kind of continues that path of 0 earned run, blow up, 0 earned run, blow up, or are you seeing any value in the Royals today?
An overnight 8.5 juiced under -10, corrected line of 8 juiced under. A lot of these games are expecting that Wednesday travel day. One of these, the bags already packed. They're out of the hotel. They got the buses warmed up to get to the airports. Minnesota was good to us yesterday. We had the run line. We had the team total over. I expect the Twins to keep on rolling here. Now, how do you get into this? I do see a little edge with Male versus Lynch. Maybe a first 5 minus the hook. If you want to go back to the well, excuse me, and then do the full run line, that's fine. But again, Vegas pricing you out of the actual just win, baby. These lines are -190. It's at 185 right now at Westgate. I see a 205 at the Square Book at William Hill. I like the Twins today. I don't know if I'll go back. Another game that I had two units into that we won. So again, might want to take the money and run, but I like where Minnesota's going right now.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Molly, for me, there's been times over the last couple of years where I've kind of just been on the wrong side of him no matter what. So I really have been staying away from him for the most part, but, he's obviously been all right. So I'll move on from that one as well. Going back to the AL East. Excuse me, Baltimore and Toronto. Baltimore takes the first two out of this one. We both talked about the Blue Jays and how much they're struggling right now. You've got Voth on the mound for the Orioles and Stripling for Toronto. Both these guys actually been pretty solid through about 5 innings or so, pretty consistently. Stripling 2 earned run through five. You can almost pencil them in for 2 earned run through 5 innings. So, any interest in Baltimore again at plus money, or do you think the Blue Jays bounce back and avoid? I think this is a full 3-game set, so you think they avoid the sweep in this one, or you like Baltimore in this one?
Which Stripling are we gonna get? The morale in Toronto can't be too good right now. We will have Andrew McGinnis on at 1 o'clock. I'll be asking for a little temperature there. Like the Yankees, you want to dive in and think that you're going to stop the bleeding. And I said it. Why dive in? I mean, the Orioles are the talk still of the town. Get rid of Mancini, get rid of Lopez. This team just keeps on winning. Hey, Jays get out early. Baltimore's like, not so fast. We're okay here. And the pesky Orioles, not the pesky Jays, the pesky Orioles just keep on. I could see a Jays first 5 minus the hook here. Hope you're getting the good Stripling today. That's where I would lean in this game.
Okay. Yeah, we've talked about it. This is Stripling. He's they've kind of figured out the yank him before you get through the third time in the lineup, and for the most part, he's been solid through those first 2 runs through the lineup. So I think I'm with you. Winner of this game, though, Baltimore is a half game behind him for that last wild card spot. So the winner is the holder of that last wild card spot. Could be Baltimore if they get the win. So going to be interesting. Obviously, Minnesota and the White Sox a game behind Toronto as well for the wild card right now.
Absolutely, indeed. Shout out to our man Cole. Good morning. Yes, we are trying to get the cheddar. Our eyes have been spot on the last handful of days. We're going to try to keep this thing rolling. If we're slight leans, we see something that piques you guys' interest, don't be shy. Ask away. The other thing with the Jays, just a thought here, could be peaking to the Yankee series. Again, they're trying to stop the bleeding. The Orioles got the first 2. I mean, you really want to make a statement here. You'd hate for the Orioles to leave town and have a half game lead, knowing that you got to play the Yankees. But at this point, the Yankees are floundering. It doesn't matter. The Yankees and Jays, they each could be, the first one to double digits win. I mean, that's how bad the pitching's been. But both of the teams' bats have been that silent too. So who the hell knows?
I know. It's somebody's going to get themselves right, and somebody's going to stay floundering, I think, this weekend. I'm interested to see who it is. Going to the West Coast this afternoon, we've got the Angels hosting the Mariners again here today. I do believe these two teams, or Seattle's taking the first 2 out of the series. You've got George Kirby versus Touki Toussaint. Toussaint, 4th start for the team, 13 innings pitched, 4 earned runs so far this season, but that is against Texas and 2 times against Oakland. Kirby obviously has been very solid, starting to get some buzz around his name. The Mariners have won 5 of his last 6 starts. Are you respecting this number with Seattle on the road, or is there something else to see in this one?
No, Kirby's been good. Had a couple blips here and there. Again, how do you get into this game? A first 5 minus the hook, probably right around even or maybe a little minus money. Anyone that wants to go full game run line, I'm okay with that. The Angels, as everyone knows, back end is putrid. Mm-hmm. So you might, if you don't get into the first 5, you might be able to wear them down, get a J-Rod 2 or 3 run bomb or something of like that. So I definitely an edge with Kirby today. Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with you on that one. This Angels team, 2 runs scored the last 2 days. I think we're going to see another rough outing from their offense here again today. So moving on to the next one, Miami taking 2 out of the first 2 from San Diego after not having much offense. Only finally got over that 3 mark, got to 4 yesterday. You've got San Diego going again into Miami for game 3 out of this one. You've got Clevenger and Lopez. Lopez bounced back a bit last time out versus Atlanta. I think it was 2 earned runs, but a lot better than what he had been the previous couple of times. Any interest in San Diego to avoid the sweep in this one, or is this number a little sketchy if you're interested in the Padres, or maybe that's just respect to Lopez there?
A little of both, a little of
Yeah,
both, but you would think the San Diego backers, again, kind of one of those. Unlike Toronto at home, these guys are on the road.
yeah,
They fought through the weekend with the Tatis news. Now it was a good landing spot, we thought, with the Marlins. They lose the first two. Lopez, since his name was put out there, potentially being traded, has had some bad outings. Like you said, kind of got back onto the right side. A Clevenger that's been profitable for ECSI. The number reeks to holy hell. Again, that dreaded 145, 150 number where it's listen, you go to the window and start laying 150s. I always bring up this scenario. Okay. It's a Friday night special, I call it. You go to the window and bet three minus 150s for $100.
yeah.
Your unit size is 100. You're investing $450 to win $300. Okay.
Right.
So the return's not good there to start. If you go 2-1, you net $50. So think about that. I just risked $450. I went 2-1, which, hey, if you can go 2-1 every day, you don't have to work, right?
Sure.
Correct.
Sure.
You netted $50 for a $450 investment. So the point is, yeah, it looks great on paper. It's like a tease in football. It's great before the kickoff, and then by the halftime, you're like, what in holy hell was I looking at?
Right. And typically it's good teams too, so that gives you even more confidence, right? Those 150s are typically the good teams that you feel like you could feel confident in, right? So I'm 100% with you. Any thoughts on over under 7? You think this one's staying that low and maybe we're just giving the Marlins a chance here at any point with one swing and it's a 2-1, 3-2 game throughout, you know what I mean? Anything there, or do you think that's this one might even go way over that number?
I'm waiting for an eruption. I am.
Yeah.
Now, Padres just could be sleepwalking. Hey, they've been in South Beach for the last 3 days. Who the hell knows what the hell they're doing, right? So I'm not a total guy like you say all the time. I'm not, but if anything, I'd say one of these two pitches might blow up. I don't want to say first 1 to 4 wins, but again, probably first 1 to 4 does win here.
Yeah, no, I think I'm with you. Going over back to the AL East once again, we already talked about them. We got Tampa Bay and the Yankees in this one. Kluber and Domingo Herman. Herman, after struggling to start off the IL, has been all right the last two. Kluber got roughed up his last outing, 10 hits, 7 earned versus the Orioles. Any hope that we got a Kluber bounce back on our hands here, and maybe the Yankees are in trouble again, or are you thinking this might be the day the Yankees get off the skids right now?
Vegas thinks so. I mean, overnight number of 133. It's 130 at Jazz, 135 at South Point, 138 at Westgate. The square books at 145. Our friends at Circle 138. The price is right for the Yankees today. So I'll say it that way. The price is right. You're getting great value on Herman and the Yankees. With that said, Cy Kluber has done very well in his career against the Yankees as he has against the Red Sox too. I'd expect a bounce back there. I don't have if someone wanted to take a swing at the Yankees today, fine. But again, if you're going to take a swing at the Yankees, you're going to take a swing at the Astros, you're going to take a swing at the Padres. You're going to try to hold the Holy Grail tickets. I told you we're going to stop the bleeding. The Jays is another team. They want you to take the Yankees today. This team can't score. Right. They can't score right now.
Right. I would say I wait on today, and if they explode and have a nice day today, then they probably should have some value over the weekend against the Jays, right? If they get the bounce back today, then we might be looking at getting back on them this weekend.
No, you're right, but also the same thing. Like I said with the Jays, are the Yankees peaking? The hell with the Rays.
Oh, sure.
We're not worried. We got a 4-game set here. Let's get Herman out there. He looked pretty good. I watched him the other day against the Sox. He looked all right. I mean, he did what he had to do. Again, it's really tough to get into some of these spots. what do I always say? If you didn't invite me to the wedding, don't expect me to be at the funeral. And anyone that was going against this Yankee team during this streak, God bless you. You got yourself a new car. You got yourself, you paid the mortgage off for 6 months. I
Yeah.
mean, they're stenching right now. So
Yeah. No, I think it's great advice for sure. Going back, staying with not in Boston over there where you're in front of right now, but switch it to the Red Sox. Staying in Pittsburgh, I think it was game one yesterday. Boston gets the win yesterday. You've got Rich Hill and Roansy Contreras. Contreras for the Pirates here tonight. Hill, 4 earned runs in each of his last 2. Contreras, not quite sure what to expect. He's 22 years old. I think this is his technically his second season. He got a little bit in last time. Good last outing versus Cincinnati. Still trying to get some tape on him, obviously. But any interest in Boston, or is this another spot where it's let me double check where we're sitting right now, about minus 155 on DraftKings. Is this another sketchy spot if you're the Red Sox, or any interest in kind of fading the struggling Pirates that are definitely one of the uglier teams right now that of the bad teams, I would say.
the Sox start the game. I think it was a walk, single, and then there was a flare out to left field that the rook shortstop, the all-world kid, calls off the left fielder and he drops it. And then Reynolds out in center field has a ball in his glove and he drops it. And I put it on my timeline. I'm like, why can't I get the 2 drops ever? The Sox scored 5 and didn't score again. They scored 5 and didn't score again.
Okay.
And they had the lead, and next thing you know, it's 5-3, tying runs on the base. And even Cora said, guys, we got to keep making good swings, good at bats. We got to get to their bullpen in the first game of the series. Rich Hill starting around in a little form. He showed flashes his last start. It's again that dreaded 150, 155 number. I'm not going to run to the window to play that. If you want to get some Red Sox, I maybe first 5 or full game run lines, I'm okay with that. They usually do well against the NL. They're starting to put some things together here. You should have Whitlock available today. He didn't pitch yesterday. The bullpen should be all set. So I lean Red Sox, but only in a run line situation or even a minus first 5.
Yeah, no, I think this Pirates team is stinking right now. They are ugly. I mean, have you heard any of their broadcasters the last couple of days? And I mean, how badly? I think it was Dennis Eckersley was just roasting on the broadcast yesterday. It was not pretty. So, they're struggling right now. So moving on to Cleveland, Detroit and Cleveland, Norris versus Quantrill. Detroit's got 2 out of 3 in this series so far. This is game number 4. Doubleheader a couple of days ago, split, and the Tigers get the win last night. Quantrill, 0 earned runs and 4 hits over his last 13 innings. That is against Houston and Toronto. Norris, this is going to be his second start from Detroit after coming over from the Cubs. He was all right. Made the White Sox made him look very good through 4 innings, 0 earned runs there. Any trust in Cleveland to even the series out and get the 4-game split? Or maybe they lost their momentum and you're interested in the Tigers and the plus money here today?
On my desk yesterday, Guardians minus a hook first 5. Guardians game run line. Guardians team total over 4.5. So I tell you when I leave them on the desk and they win. I tell you when I leave them on the desk and they go 0 for 3. This Quantrill kid, all of a sudden, he used to be one of SoCal's biggest fades in the world, and now he's rolling out minus 205, 210. A big spot for Cleveland right now. 62 wins. So let's quickly go down. Your White Sox, 61 wins. Seattle, 64. Baltimore, Toronto, 61. Minnesota, 60. So as you can see, in come these lowly teams where you're supposed to take care of business, and it's baseball. It's 162 games. It's a marathon. So, there'll be people on Detroit saying Quantrill should never be a minus 200. I get that part. I truly do. I give the edge in the back end to Cleveland. Maybe Ramirez has a day. I don't know. But I would lean here. Cleveland, full game run line. Try to get in, get out, savor the win. Under over is only 7.5. So, you got to get to that 4 and only give up 2 or less.
Yeah, No, if someone wanted to say they expect Contra to regress, I get that. I would expect Detroit's offense to regress. 4 and 7 runs the last 2 days and wins. I mean, this is a bad offense. I would be willing to bet on Detroit regressing offensively more than anything out of this one. So I think I'm with you. I respect that number a little bit in this one. I hope they lose, obviously, for the White Sox. I didn't have they didn't come through for me yesterday on the first 5 team total, so I wasn't the a-hole in the stands cheering for the rivals, but so I'm kind of glad about that. But yeah, would have liked the first 5 win and then the full game loss. But anyways, moving on. We talked about them a little bit earlier in the show. Mets and Braves for game number 3 here. This is a 4-game set. We will have another one tomorrow with DeGrom for the Mets. But so far, you got Mad Max and Odorizzi tonight. But so far, you got the Braves winning 13-1 and 5-0 the last 2 days. This is third start for Odorizzi since coming over. Been okay. One of those starts was against the Mets, so the Mets are seeing him for the second time in a few weeks now. And Mad Max last time out, 7 innings, 9 hits, 1 earned versus the Phils. Were you surprised this line wasn't higher for Mad Max in the Mets? We kind of already led into that a little bit, so I think I know your answer there. But anything else to add after what we started the show with?
There's only one side you can play here. It's the Braves. I was teeing everyone up over the weekend here, saying, this is a must for the champs. And looking at it here, I was kind of prefacing the fact that you kind of get your appetizer the first 2 days. And I really talked about it 2 days ago on the show about the Braves run line. They put up the 13 spot. The number yesterday kind of reeked another injury to the Mets starting staff. Yesterday, he leaves, I think, in the second inning with back spasms. In comes Max. This is hey, listen, we're going to just stop your run right now, and then we get DeGrom to finish your run, and lights out. We're leaving with 5-game lead like we came here with. Not so fast. If you've been back in the Braves on Monday and Tuesday, don't be shy. Go right back to that window. That line is enticing all the Met fans. That's you, TJ, if you're listening. Come on, TJ. I haven't heard from you in a couple of days. Where are you, TJ? It's Atlanta or nothing for me today.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, it would be one where, I mean, you got Quantrill at -220 and you got Mad Max at -150. Obviously, they're playing different teams, but yeah, that's certainly concerning to me. The first 5 is only at -160 for the Mets. Obviously, that's given a little more respect there, but that's, I mean, even that stinks to high hell for me. -120 on the first 5, minus the hook there. So, yeah, it's a stinky one, and yeah, I'm gonna be staying away from the Mets. That's for sure. Going on to the NL Central, Cardinals trying to maintain that lead in the NL Central over the Brewers. They've got the Rockies in town. I do believe the Cardinals got the win last night against the Rockies. You've got Marquez versus Montgomery. Montgomery's been absolutely fantastic in 2 starts for the Cardinals so far. 0 earned runs over 11 innings pitched. Marquez actually a lot better the last 2 starts compared to the entire season. Last was against these Cardinals, though. 6 innings, 8 hits, 2 earned runs. Do you expect, we got -200 or so here for the Cardinals. Do you expect them with Montgomery to stay hot and maybe beat up Marquez for the second time after seeing him in a week? Or are you seeing something else? Total is only at 7. So maybe this is a low-scoring game both ways here.
Yeah, the Rockies rallied the troops to tie it 4-4. And the Cardinals won the game on a walk-off pass ball, wild pitch, balk, some quirky way. I thought that they won 5-4 last night. As you said, Montgomery's come over. He's been lights out. Cardinals are putting some stuff together. They're at 64 wins right now. Where are the Brewers? Brewers at 62, so they hold a 2-game lead. And we'll get to that next game there where the Brewers today are, Dodgers are -170, 175. So Vegas doesn't expect the Brewers to win. So a big game for St. Louis, maybe to get back up to the 3 spot, 3 games there. Again, you're priced out of the money line. If you want to dabble in a, full game run line, if you want to try to take a swing in the first 5, Montgomery's been that good. Minus the hook, take a swing there. I expect the Cardinals to win, but I talked about the Rockies being sneaky yesterday, and maybe they come in and they steal one, but slight edge to the Cardinals, but probably just popcorn here.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with you. I mean, their offense has still been scrappy. 4 runs the last 2 days and losses. A lot better against lefties at home, but they are much better against lefties than they are against righties. It was a game-ending hit by pitch last night. Hit by
Okay.
pitch with the
I
bases
knew
loaded
it was
to win the game.
quirky. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Moving on to the next one. Only a few more left. Oakland and Texas tonight. You've nailed the first two games. I had the manager fired the day before. I had the A's last night. You've got Oler versus Reagans tonight. We got a 4-game set here, so they've split the game so far. Reagans, this is his third career start. Last was 4 innings pitched, 6 hits, 5 earned versus the Astros. And Adam Oler has not been very good at all this season. Line giving respect just to the better team here, or are you seeing something else there?
No, and thank you. Yes, spot on the first 2 days, the fire the manager, and yesterday the holy hell. That's the wake up in the morning and look at the board, and it's the
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
was like, oh,
Hey.
okay, Oakland today. This kind of when I talked about it to the ECSI VIPs on Monday, they priced this out of the fire the manager. I wasn't going to lay 160, 170. We did the run line and they won 2-1. Numbers telling me it's a Ranger game. Under over of 8.5, now 9. Maybe the Rangers bats finally wake up. I don't have a problem with the Rangers run line today. Full game. You could probably get some good plus money on it if you wanted to go in there. But Vegas is saying it's a Ranger day.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, Reagan's obviously still making his way here, trying to make a name for himself, so I could see him fired up today. And obviously, like we said, Oler has not been good, so I could see Texas bats having a nice day today. Switching over to my neck of the woods, I already talked about my White Sox. I was there last night. We've got this is a 4-game series. This is game number 3. You got Valdez for the Astros and Michael Kopech here for the White Sox. Kopech, 0 hits over 6 innings last time out. His slider was the most explosive I've seen his slider through his young career. That does not necessarily mean that he's going to have it again here tonight. He after the game last week, he was actually surprised. He said, I was expecting to have a rough outing tonight. He was not much command in the first inning, and then all of a sudden he figured out a slider. So if he's got that slider, he is very, very dangerous if it's working here tonight. But obviously, I'm a little concerned for some regression. I'll be honest with you. Obviously, I'm hopeful. But Valdez, on the other hand, 7 innings, 4 hits, 0 earned runs in his last outing. So he was very good in his last outing. Any insight from you? Do one of these guys regress, both these guys regress, or are we seeing maybe a fantastic pitching matchup here tonight?
I'll be honest with you. The overnight number 148, it's right now 140, 139. There's a 145, 141. Just from the eyes and how I'm reading this, it's an Astro number.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You've won the last 2. Like I talked about the Braves. If you had the Braves the first 2 days, you got to go take the plus money and ride the Braves. If you had the White Sox the first 2 days, you have to go and take the White Sox today. Now, with that said, I am expecting some regression from Kopech. I am looking for a little bounce back from Houston today. Now, will we get that? I don't know. I'm just looking at the board here, Riley. You got 61 wins, right? You got 3.
Yep.
You got 3 more wins than the Red Sox. Okay, you're 1 game behind Cleveland. You are 1 game behind Tampa. You are 3 games behind Seattle. You are tied with Baltimore and Toronto. So, and you're 1 game ahead of Minnesota. So, is this a big game? Hell yeah, especially when you're starting to put some stuff together. Now, you and I both know what will be the key here. Kopech's command.
Mm-hmm.
If he walks the park, he's going to get lit up. It's that simple. If he's got great command and listen, the slider's working again, and they're putting the ball in play, letting his defense make the plays, you got a good shot here. But that command early will be the telltale sign.
Yeah, 100%. And like I said last week, he didn't have it early, but I think it was against the Tigers. I could be drawing a blank. If he has that trouble early, he's gonna, like you said, he's gonna get blown up as opposed to navigating through it in that first inning, and then maybe he figures it out after that. But I'm with you. I'm a little concerned, but obviously I'm hopeful. Switching to NFL news real quick, just saw Mecole Hardman for the Chiefs carted off of practice, so that is a rough blow for the Chiefs right there. If that is anything serious there.
I've been talking all fantasy, and I've got him every spot I have. Now, listen, this kid has killed me 2 out of the 3 years. I said it sarcastically on the show. Juju is not riding a bicycle to Kansas City like he did in Pittsburgh. Listen, the year it's boom or bust for him, and now he gets an opportunity, a change of scenery, a la Joey Gallo. I know it's different sports, but the fact is now you get to go with Patrick Mahomes, no Tyreek Hill. Now Hardman's gone. There's a lot of talk with the kid Sky Moore, who's got intriguing as well. But anyone in fantasy land, move up Juju even more, guys.
And I mean, as far as a speedster, I mean, I've been critical as far as Marquez Valdes-Scantling in certain spots, but if Hardman's out for an extended period of time, then I would say, I don't want necessarily Marquez Valdes-Scantling in my lineup, but he at least gets a little more value with that as far as if Hardman's out for a while. So back to baseball, we got two more left. LA Dodgers and the Milwaukee Brewers, 4-game series. This is game number 3, I believe. They have a split so far. And you've got Tony Gonsolin for the Dodgers, Eric Lauer for the Brewers. Obviously, Gonsolin has been great all season. The last 2, he has really bounced back and has been back to his old self after a little bit of a hiccup there in July. And you already mentioned about minus 170 for the Dodgers here. Any other insights to have on this one? Is this definitely a Dodgers day? And if so, what's the play out of this one?
It's funny how these series have set up. It really is. The Brewers come in and they steal the first game, and then the Dodgers. That was the loss in that 3-teamer that we talked about. Yeah. The matchup here says Vegas is saying 170, 175, 168. Laura been okay. Under over of 8. I mean, if you're backing the Dodgers, you're doing it first 5 minus the hook. You're doing it a run line. You can't get in there and play the money line. Gonsolin got 14 wins, 14-2, 14-1.
14-1. Yep, 14-1.
I mean, I don't know what to say here. I'm gonna stay away. I'm gonna stay away.
I'm with you. I mean, aside from that month of June, he was, as you like to say, leaking oil for a few games. Got roughed up in the All-Star game. 5 earned runs of the Cardinals, 4 earned runs of the Nats, 3 to the Colorado Rockies, and in the last 2, he's been back to. I mean, so far in August, 2 starts, 11 2/3, 5 hits total, and 1 earned run. So I think we could see him pitching well. But as you mentioned, Lauer, I don't really know what to expect from Lauer. That's kind of my biggest issue out of this one. I mean, he'll either give you a 1 earned run through 6 or 4 earned run through 5. So, I'm going to stay away from it as well here on this one. One more left, though. This is the only late game that we've got here today. Arizona and the San Francisco Giants. The Giants 5 in a row, I do believe, and Rodon on the mound for them here again tonight. He has been pretty damn solid the last 3. Davies for the Arizona Diamondbacks. I am not a big Davies fan. He has been a little hit or miss. 3 earned runs last time out, 0 before that, 4 before that. So any expectation that the Giants stay hot and keep this momentum going with Rodon on the mound tonight?
You're supposed to, but this is where they lay the clunker. Listen, hey, we were talking about it on Monday. They're getting to that little momentum. I mean, let's just walk through the park for the Giants before we sign off here. 59-57, okay? So let's see where that puts them in the National League here. Milwaukee, 62 wins, so they're 3 behind them. Obviously, can't catch the Dodgers. St. Louis, 64 wins. That still puts them 5 behind them. Atlanta, 13, thanks for playing. The Mets, 16, thanks for playing. The National League is almost like it's wrapped up. I mean, there's really nowhere you can go here. Even the Phillies at 65, they're 6. I mean, they got to just keep winning. They got to have one of those late August, September, 35 and 8 runs or something stupid, Right. If you really want my honest opinion, I think the number's light. How's that sound? I think I would rather see Rondon, whatever you want to call him. Just don't call him late to dinner or breakfast. It opened at 215. I would rather respect it more at a 240 or 250. Davies very, very hittable. An under-over of a flat 7 over 25. What are they telling me? First 1 to 4 wins here. I mean, if you want to get cute, what is the first 5 minus the hook on San Fran?
Minus 150.
150?
150.
I mean, you can't even get in there. Yeah. some of the books have -1. And so you still got to win by 2 to cash the ticket. You're sitting there, you're cute. I got -1. And you still got to win by 2, jackass.
Yeah.
So I would like San Fran minus the hook. First 5, I'm not paying 150. So no, I'm going to stay away. How's that sound?
Yeah, I'm with you, and you could get plus money on the team totals for the Giants, but I don't like them enough after at this point to go into that. So that's all we've got as far as any additional thoughts for the baseball slate before we move on and get out of here.
Let's see. I'm just trying to add one closing bomb here for a day game special. Let's see. Toronto, boy, lefty there. Minnesota.
Maybe a righty against Lynch there in Minnesota.
Was it Buxton?
Buxton's a righty. Correa's a righty.
Yeah. Well, how about this? We'll double down. We're going to give you the 2 home run prop. We'll go Correa and Buxton in Minnesota. How's that?
That's not bad. Correa's got a 7-game hit streak, only 1 homer during that time, so he's a little due as far as hitting well. And then I haven't seen what Buxton's been doing lately, but he's also hitting. He's got 3 straight multi-hit games, only 1 home run in that stretch. So the guys are hitting there. I think that's a good look to have there. And Lynch can definitely give up some home runs. A little hit or miss there, but he can definitely give them up. So I like that one.
It's been a great start of the week for us. Tomorrow, you said there's a bunch of day games as well. We're over more day than night.
I believe so. Pretty similar. Pretty similar as today, except I think less overall games. There's 1, 2, 3, 6 day games, and then 5 night games tomorrow.
All right, so let's plan the same thing tomorrow morning. We'll come on there, and then we'll have B2B on at noon. So we're giving you your afternoon and evenings off. I think Scotty's back on Friday. I don't. I'm lucky. I know what day it is. I'm telling you, we'll figure it out. And
hey, no worries.
From myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, from the one, the only, from the Windy City himself, with the breaking news is Nicole Hardman has been carted off again. Anyone doing a draft? I got my 3rd draft tonight at 8:00, so we might move Juju up a little more. Take a look at Sky Moore. I'm not buying the early price tag on Travis Kelce. I'm staying away from CEH. I do have some Rojo shares, but I'm hearing the talk of the town is the Pacheco kid, and I'm not buying it yet. Maybe I'm going to back off. One closing note for fantasy guys. Seattle drafts Kenneth Walker from Michigan State.
Yes.
He has, quote, a small hernia. I've never heard of a small hernia. You either have a hernia or you don't have a hernia.
I didn't hear this news. That is there a recovery timetable for that for an athlete?
Well, they're taking it day by day. And again, it was almost like clickbait because I haven't been on the Penny train. I've had bad luck with Penny. I'm trying to figure out their backfield. Everyone's hot and horny for Kenneth Walker. I loved him at Michigan State. I thought he was good, but and Pete with no quarterback, and we're trying to figure out how he's going to run the wishbone. Is he bringing back Sean Alexander? Is he bringing back Marshawn Lynch? Who's he using, Kenneth Walker or Penny? Now, when I see a small hernia, I'm like, dude, I am not drafting a rookie number 1 with damaged goods. So I'm just throwing that out there.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm going to have to look into that because I've got a good Twitter buddy that I've connected with over the last year that's very high on Kenneth Walker. And I was kind of with, at least from maybe like a dynasty redraft, a fresh draft coming up potential. And that's what I've got myself into as well. So, and I think I've got the 2nd or 3rd pick in the redraft this year. So I was interested in him, but I'm going to have to take a second look as far as that is concerned. But I mean, even for a dynasty, maybe I'm still interested.
No, dynasty, well worth the stash.
Yeah.
And listen, he could be fine, but I just, it's like, you say certain things, and doesn't make
Right.
sense. I have an eating problem. Therefore, you can catch me at the country buffet today at 2 o'clock, and it makes no sense.
No. Any other running backs? I guess I'll just pose any other like running backs in that category that you got any interest? I'm drawing a blank on what the guy's damn name is, but the guy the Bills drafted could be
Oh, James Cook. James
yes, James Cook.
out of
Yeah.
out of Georgia, lightning fast, great hands, picks up the blitz well. He will be it'll be a split over there with Singletary. They
Hmm.
drafted Moss a few years ago from Utah, but
Right.
he's going to kind of push to the curb. Cook is going 7-8 right now where I am, seventh, eighth round. I love the kid. Um, he is definitely, and don't forget, he's in Buffalo.
Yeah.
So, you got the Josh Allen and the Diggs for years to come, the high octane offense. I would take, for me, even in a dynasty, I would take Cooks over Walker.
Okay, no, I'm interested for sure. And even, just hearing Sean McDermott saying he's trying to run the ball a little bit more than they have over the last couple of years. Hasn't been very efficient the last couple of years, but they obviously made some offensive line moves, and it sounds like one way or another he's going to try and run the ball a little bit. So whether that works from an efficiency standpoint for the NFL season is definitely to be seen. But I would say that definitely helps out any fantasy football stocks for sure there.
If you're looking to draft in a dynasty and you're looking for some quicker results, right now in the fourth round in a regular redraft is the kid for the Jets, Brees Hall. I
Yeah.
haven't got in there yet. I like him. I think he's in a good spot. I'm just not buying the sizzle. Again, he's going to give you more early. I think the Cook will be a lot more dynamic long term than Brees Hall. I could be wrong there. The
Yeah.
Kenneth Walker, again, in a great spot, aging running backs, aging coach. So, but
Yeah.
sooner than later, he's going to have a new coach in there. He
Right.
needs a quarterback. He's probably going to have they'll draft a quarterback next year. So he's in a good spot, the Walker kid.
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect long term from Brees Hall.
Yeah, no, I think I'm with you. I'm glad we could just chat about that for a second. I've got my like I said, I've got I think the second pick of my year two of the rookie draft. It's going to be year two of the season, so I've got the number two pick here, and I'm pretty stoked about my team. I drafted for the future, so I punted on year one, and now I'm ready to rock in year two here.
Yeah, the wide receivers are interesting. There were 11 wide receivers drafted before George Pickens. And the story behind Mr. Pickens, obviously, again, Georgia hurt, missed the
Yeah,
full season. He is just the team is just enamored and just what a much of
yeah,
a stud. He's had a great start. Now, I'm not a sizzle guy, I'm a steak guy, but I've done my tape work. I've seen him. I love him. But with that said, uh, the Pittsburgh Steelers, if you go back in their history, they're the number one in my eyes drafting wide receivers. They
hmm
just they just keep rolling them in and rolling them in. They
yeah.
got this guy. There were, like I said, 11 wide receivers that went.
Uh-oh, did I lose you? I can't tell if I'm the last one remaining or if I'm the one that got booted here. Oh boy. Uh-oh. I'm the last one here. Oh man. I don't even remember where he was going down with that. Hopefully I think I'm the last one here. We'll see. Hopefully I'm not embarrassing myself here with just looking awkward at the camera here. All right, Jeff said he's got some internet issues, so I guess I'll close it up if anyone's still watching. But thank you for watching us today, guys. We really appreciate all the support. Obviously, Jeff will be back here with Andrew McGinnis as long as his internet provides it here in a couple of hours, I believe. So thank you to everyone that was watching. You can go follow us. Obviously, go follow Jeff, EC Sports Invest. You can follow myself at Riley_Magnuson1 on Twitter, and you will see Jeff in a couple of hours, and you will see me tomorrow morning as well. So thanks for watching, everybody.